Hey guys, this is Miss Black again with another video tutorial for those at home wanting to create something really cool. I'm really excited about this project because it's so much fun. I've done it a couple of times. I can just show you an example really quickly. So the kind of thing we're learning about with this project is how living things change. So this is a project for younger grades because that's part of their science core. But of course, anybody is welcome to do this project who wants to do it. So what we're learning about in the younger grades, obviously how living things change, I thought it would be really cool to learn about caterpillars and butterflies. So what you guys are going to be making with me in this video is how to make a fan. So if I can show you my examples, when the fan is closed, it looks like the caterpillar version of the butterfly. And when the fan is open, and if I had made this one, if I had folded this one the correct way, it would be able to open the whole way. So like if this is all the way open, it opens 360 degrees, and you can actually use it as a fan. But I didn't decorate these, the fan part, because I did just want to show how to make it. So this is what it will look like when you open it, something like this. And it is with the pattern of butterflies. Okay, so the butterfly I'm looking at today, that one that I designed, I should preface, this one that I designed, I was looking at a monarch butterfly, and there are thousands and thousands and thousands of different butterflies, so you guys can choose the butterfly that you want to show. For this video, I'm going to show a swallowtail butterfly. So if you look at my computer, it's kind of, well, see if I can make it up, right side up here. This is the one that I'm kind of looking at for its pattern and design. So I'm using yellows, I've got some blues, black, and for white I'll just use the paper. So let's go back to this. So make sure that you have an idea of what pattern you want to use. You're going to need 2 pieces of paper because that will make it open 360 degrees. You're going to need 2 popsicle sticks. You're going to need a glue stick, and one last thing you're going to need is a piece of string or something that you can tie it together with. This is just a piece of wire that I have, which ends up holding it really tightly. So when you get to the point of tying it together, make sure somebody helps you make it really tight, because that will make it stay closed and make it last for a really long time. So we're going to get on with the project. So you're going to have your 2 pieces of paper, and this is just printer paper from the printer, and it works really well with this. That's what I used for this one here. It's just printer paper, and that's also what I used this one with. I just used printer paper for this one. Now this one doesn't open all the way, but you can still use it as a fan. It's still pretty nice. But I'm going to show you guys how to open it all the way so you have something to hold on to as you use it if you would like to use it. So the first thing you're going to do is decide your butterfly, and I've decided a swallowtail. But I'd like to actually show you all the different types of butterflies you can choose from. You're going to want to know what the butterfly, like the wings, look like, and you're also going to want to know what the caterpillar looks like, because whatever butterfly that you choose, you're also going to want to know the patterns of the caterpillar for the popsicle sticks. So I'm just going to search for butterflies, and I think the most well-known butterfly is probably the monarch, which always shows up in that search. Let's take a look here. Oops. There. If you look here, we've got a monarch right here, but there's all sorts of different ones. There's this blue one, which is really cool. Here, maybe I can show you guys. And maybe this will actually give you an idea too. You can probably choose from this video. So there's monarchs here. And I think that's the one that shows up the most, but there are lots of different ones. You can also think of moths if you would like, because moths and butterflies are very similar creatures. In fact, I think that butterflies might even be part of that moth family. So you can choose, oh, look at this moth right here. That's really cool. That's a really cool pattern. You just want to choose those colors and kind of use that pattern to decorate your paper, or design your paper, I should say. So if we look down, you'll see lots of different butterflies. That one's pretty cool. It's like purples and blues. This one's just black and white with polka dots. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can choose from. Maybe I can look up a butterfly chart so we can see lots of different ones. See, there's hundreds and hundreds, and probably even thousands of different types of butterflies that you can choose from. If I open this, maybe we can see it a little bigger. Okay. So, lots of different ones. You're going to want to choose one and then pick the colors that are on that butterfly to color with. And it's important that you look at the wings first, because that's what we're working on first, is designing the paper that the fan is using. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to start designing it. But I also want to look at the caterpillar. So if I look at a swallowtail butterfly, and make sure that you have help doing this with a parent or guardian. Swallowtail butterfly caterpillar, because this will help me with the popsicle sticks as well. So this is what the swallowtail butterfly caterpillar looks like. So when I'm decorating, or I should say designing instead of decorating, when I'm designing my popsicle stick, I'm going to be using greens, blacks, and it looks orange there to me. So I'll do a similar pattern like this on my popsicle stick. But we want to do the paper first. So I'm going to go to just swallowtail. These are my favorite types of butterflies. So I am going to make it. Okay, so this one's just yellow and black, and it's got blues and maybe a little bit of orange. Okay. So I'm taking my printer paper and I'm going to design based on what the swallowtail butterfly looks like. And with this one, I designed these different shapes, and then I sort of traced on the same pattern onto the other paper. So you could do that if you want to make it look really put together and just make sure it like fits really well together. Or you can just decide to do two different type patterns, which works as well. So what I'm using for designing is some markers here, but you can use crayons, you can use colored pencils, anything you want. You can even use paint if you have paint at home. Okay, but if you do use paint, keep in mind you're going to want the paper to dry completely before you would fold it. Okay, so I'm going to set that paper aside, and I'm going to start designing this swallowtail pattern. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it with a pen. So it looks like this swallowtail has almost like tiger stripes. So I'm drawing what I see in the picture. And these are going to be colored in black. And then I'm also seeing these kinds of shapes on there. And you don't have to make the whole thing look exactly like what you see on the picture. You're just going to want to generally design your paper based on what you're seeing in the picture of the butterfly you chose. So maybe I'll just draw Some ovals here. And these ones are going to be blue. And these ones are going to be yellow. And this one's probably going to be orange. Okay. And then you might notice when you're looking closely at your butterfly that the wings have these little segments. So if I can zoom into this and show you. So the butterflies, all of them, butterflies, moths, they all have these little segments. So I would definitely suggest drawing those types of shapes onto your paper as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to draw these segments. Maybe they're coming off right here. And they kind of fit together like a puzzle. So they should all be touching. And actually this is probably just kind of going through it. Because the pigments on the butterfly don't necessarily mean that's where a segment is. Sometimes the pigment in one segment can be multicolored. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw these segments. And like I said, it doesn't have to look exactly like the pattern that you see on the butterfly. In fact, it's kind of impossible to do that because this is a square and the butterfly's wing is more like a triangle. So don't worry about that, just kind of use the picture to generalize a pattern. Okay, and I'm going to actually bring that in to there. And then there's some other shapes in here. And these are going to be yellow. Some of them are going to be white, I think, the color of this paper, so I won't color some of them. Kind of like I did in the last one. And I'll put these together. Okay, I kind of just want to show you guys my generalized pattern, and then I'll get a little bit of coloring done. But you guys can see me completely color it on the next. Sorry, I'm just having so much fun drawing this. I will post a time-lapse video so you can see me coloring the whole thing. Okay, just going to finish this line work. Maybe I'll draw some more going this way. You know, it kind of just is up to you. What do you see in the picture? And when it's folded up, you really won't notice that it doesn't look exactly like it anyway. You just want it to look a little bit like the butterfly or moth that you chose. Maybe a few going this way. Some big shapes. And it kind of just looks like an abstract sort of mess maybe at first. But it will all come together when we put this together. So actually, I'm going to leave you guys with this part of the project first, and then stay tuned for putting it together next time. Because this is going to take you long enough just designing your wings. Okay, so actually, you know what we'll do this and the caterpillar design. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and trace. And if you've got like a light table or a window to trace it on, it might make it easier. So if you look at my window here, hold on just a sec. easier to see. There's my window at school. Open this. You can kind of use the window like a light table, and light tables are what like cartoonists use, and it helps you trace. So I don't know if you can see that too well because the light is backlighting it, but I'm just going to go ahead and trace what I see onto my other page. But like I said, you don't have to do this. You can just go ahead and take your other page and design it in a completely different way. Just keep in mind you want to do it based on the same butterfly. So you're not going to do two different butterflies because we're talking about a specific type of creature, not necessarily one that you're making up. And it will fit better if you do a similar pattern as you did on the previous paper. So the color job will be on the time lapse, but I'll show you guys this and the caterpillar pattern in just a little bit. You don't have to use a pen like I'm using. You can use a pencil for this part, or you can use like a ballpoint pen if you have that at home. Whatever you want to use to draw your pattern. You know what, I take that back. You can design your own butterfly if you would like. That seems like a cool thing you could do. But what I'm doing is I'm thinking about the swallowtail, because the swallowtail butterfly is my favorite butterfly. Or moth. As long as you don't choose a moth that's completely white. Okay, we want a moth or butterfly, as long as you don't design one that's just all white, because we want to see the patterns that you draw in color. So that's the only thing that's off limits. You can design your own butterfly or moth, but you can't design one that's all white. Almost done here tracing. It's almost like I should have just copied it. But it's fine. You kind of have to come up with really actually good line quality when you're tracing things that you might normally not do. Okay. So I'm done tracing. I'm going to set this marker away. Okay, so this was the first one I designed right here. This is the second one. Okay, so I'm going to color these in the time lapse. Excuse me, I'm going to color these in the time lapse. So stay tuned for that. But I'm also going to take a look at the caterpillar. So on your popsicle sticks, you're going to design your caterpillar. I'm going to turn this light off, or I'm going to shut my window. You guys can see this a little better. Actually, I'm going to zoom in because this is a lot smaller. Yes. If I look back at my swallowtail butterfly caterpillar, I want to use that pattern. So I'm going to kind of get a good close-up of this pattern. Okay, so I'm looking at this pattern, and this part is actually really quick. So you'll see me quickly do this. You can use markers for this, crayons. I actually used crayons for this one. It shows up pretty well, especially that white. So I'm actually going to use crayons for this. I need green, I need black, and it looks like it's orange, so I'm going to use orange here. So what I'm going to do first is think about the pattern that I see with, you know what, with the black. And it looks like I've got black and then orange and then black and then orange. Ooh, maybe there's even a little bit of blue in there. So kind of be like a scientist and take a really close look at the caterpillar that you see. Or if you're designing your own, take a really close look at other caterpillars so they give you ideas. Okay, we're kind of like biologists today. So I've got my orange. Right after that. And then in between is the blue and the green. Or maybe that's even purple. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to use blue though. More black. And just all the way through. And you're only going to do one side. This side is where you're going to put the glue so that you can attach this to your fan. And just regular old glue sticks work for this project. I tried it and it works. I'm going to take some blue here, maybe put that in the middle. It's kind of where the caterpillar kind of sections off. And then like right here would be the legs, if you can visualize that. Okay, that's probably good. And then I'm going to take my green and color the rest green. But make sure that you're not coloring over other colors, because when I do that it picks up some of that other color. So keep that in mind as you're coloring with crayon. It's all waxy materials, and so if you color over another wax it'll pick up some of that wax. Same goes for oil pastels as well. It's kind of the beauty behind, oh, can you guys even see that? Okay, zoom in a little closer. It's kind of the beauty behind oil-based drawing supplies like this, but it's also kind of the curse behind it. You got to be careful. Sometimes, you know, you want to drag some of that color, but for this project I don't. So I don't know what you guys want to do, but I don't. I just wanted to give you that tip. So I'll finish coloring this one. I'll finish the other one in the time-lapse video as well. And then the next video is the next step. So I'll be posting that. I'll try to post that today too. But it's going to take some time because I want to do my best work. So I want to make my butterfly wings look really cool. So that's going to take some time. So that might not be posted today. I'll try to do it today. But if it's not posted today, then just sit tight. It will be eventually. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave you guys at that. So just so we can recap, you need 2 popsicle sticks. Whoops. 2 popsicle sticks, and you're going to design them the same way. And then you need 2 pieces of printer paper, which are designed in similar ways as well. Okay. So draw some line work, color some of those shapes in, and then you'll be prepared for the next video. Okay. Thanks, you guys. I hope you have fun, and stay tuned for the next one.